Hello, friends. Chayce, I was gonna. Chayce, I was gonna just be silent for like a minute and not say anything, but then I forgot to warn you about that. So let's start.
I would have went with it.
Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. I'll take this off now, I guess. Hopefully that got a few people. Welcome back. I'm Elizabeth, and we are gathered here today to submit for the approval of the Midnight Society Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. Dun, dun, dun. So, hi, folks. Welcome back. I'm Elizabeth. This is my friend Chayce. This way.
Howdy.
He's going to be my co-host for today. We're going to talk about Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. I'm excited about this one because I have been looking forward to this one for a long time. I'm a real big fan of Nat Cassidy's other books, Mary, An Awakening of Terror, as well as Nestlings. Really liked both of these ones, so I was very much looking forward to this coming out. One thing I do want to mention is that there was no audiobook for this, or there isn't yet. This was released in October. It's relatively new. Hi, y'all. Ashley's in here. Ashley, hi.
Ashley, hey.
Hello, friend. And so it wasn't optioned out, I guess, for audio. This is from a different publisher than he normally works with. This is Shortwave Publishing. And so we had to read it physically, which was a challenge for me. If you follow my channel, I don't typically read physically. And so, but because it was so short, I figured this would be a good way to push myself to read it. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, hey, what's up, girl? So yeah, here we are. And Chayce is my IRL friend. For anyone, he has co-hosted before when we talked about Big Swiss, right?
Yep, Big Swiss.
We read Big Swiss. And so this is his second time back on the live show. Chayce, do you want to just say hello or like tell us a little bit about yourself or where they can find you?
I would love to. I love talking about myself. I'm Chayce. It's nice to meet everybody. Let's see, something fun about me. I'm in school to be a psychologist. I'm trying to be a doctor of some type. And yeah, I just love to read as well. You can also find me on Instagram at _chattyboy_again. So yeah, little fun fact.
That is linked down below for anyone who wants to go follow him. So yeah, that is that. Sorry, I interrupted you, Chayce.
Oh no, that was it.
All right, well, that's my friend Chayce. Let's talk books. We're going to have a non-spoiler section, but I think I'm going to probably keep it short for this one because it is such a short book. So we're going to get into the spoilers pretty quickly. But for now, while we're in non-spoilers, if you're in the comments, I did get the information from Instagram about all of your ratings. So I already have that tallied. I'm going to check later on in the discussion to make sure we don't have any like late entries in there. But the ones in the comments here are just going to be for funsies, just to let me know what you rated this out of 5 stars. And then the Instagram poll is the like official way to vote. And then we count that up. And as a reminder, at the end, we will add the average of my rating, Chayce's rating, as well as y'all's rating for the Instagram. And if it's 3 stars or higher, then the book will be inducted into the Midnight Society. So that's the plan here. While y'all are telling us what you rated this, Chayce, you want to talk about our ratings?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
It's one of those books. It's very, I feel like slasher is the perfect word I will like to use for this situation. I would give it like a 3. Because I'm torn. I don't know. I feel like it could get a good like 4, but I feel like 3.5. I'm gonna go with the 3.5. I think that's the perfect middle ground.
Okay. Carolina said that was good, but so predictable. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was cute, but really predictable. 3 stars, just silly, goofy time. Yeah. Oh, hey, Scotty. Scotty, I mentioned you in my video that's coming out because I did that tag that you did. So I'll keep your eyes out for that. That's going to be coming out for my 10K Q&A thing. Let's see. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh,
Your rating.
stars. So I totally get that because for me, I feel like I live on the outskirts of horror as far as like my taste. I don't typically love a slasher. And that goes for movies too. Like I just don't veer toward that kind of horror. And I feel like that's very like it makes up a lot of the genre. And
Yeah.
so all right. And so like that's not usually my thing. I think because I'm such a character driven reader and I want to know why, like I want to know all of the details of like I want to know the psychology behind why this person is slashing, not necessarily just getting the thrill of being chased or who might get away. Like that doesn't really do it for me. But I feel like this one did have a very middle ground as far as what I'm used to about Nat Cassidy's writing, which is really character-driven, quirky characters, and well-written stories with a very specific point of view. And I definitely got that in here too. But it was somewhere in between that and like a traditional slasher. I would put it somewhere in the middle. So all of that to say, I'm going to give this 3.75. And I never give quarter star reviews, but this one that felt right to me. It didn't feel like a 3.5 or a 4 star. So I'm giving it 3.75. Yeah, I love the character work and I like Abe. I like how Nat Cassidy does so well at like connecting me to his characters, making them seem really fully fleshed out, but also imperfect and gray, but I didn't get the whole slasher thing. Like, why is he doing this? I want to know why is he doing this? And it's not even like that this person is killing multiple people. It's just our main character. Oh, wait, no, that's not true.
I was like, huh?
That's true. But that's the only one we see, I guess, that he's trying to kill on paper or on page.
I think it's a fun, like you said, it's very slasher drip. That's why I give it a 3. That's why I was like, it's a lot of fun. It's that like very, I don't know how I would relate fun to this movie title, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like where it's like, okay, this is insane. What is going on here? You get the background story later, but it's some about the final cut. Is he gonna make it? Won't they make it? I think was fun. I just like the back and forth of it all. I thought that's what really kind of drives it up, but I felt like it was kind of lacking a little bit. And like, I do think depth is important, and I think kind of at least having some type of connection to why, like you were saying, why it was happening would have, I think, pushed it to, for me, a 3.75 maybe, where it's like, I just felt like it was like, okay, I got the background of one guy and then his friends, but that's really it.
But there was some moments in here too. There were some moments that I felt like were just really beautiful writing. And I highlighted some stuff too. I'll find one of those. But so it just felt like very like, I don't know, it's pulling me both ways. And but I also, I don't know what I was expecting going in, but I think I was expecting it to be inside the restroom the whole time and more of a like an escape thing, like how do I get out of here type of situation. And it didn't really end up being that. But I just noticed that we didn't actually say what this is about. So let's do that. But I'm so confused right now. There is not a description on the book, is there?
I'm like, I don't think there's a description.
I'll find it on Goodreads. Let me pull it up on Goodreads real quick. So we're following this musician. His name's Abe. And Abe reminds me of like so many musicians that I've like worked with or been friends with or whatever. He's that guy that like grew up in the 80s. And I feel like this is probably true of Nat Cassidy as well. Grew up in the 80s, into the yacht rock and that kind of stuff. And but also likes like metal. Abe is a metal musician, but his band kind of gave me like a what's the Tenacious D type of vibe?
Oh.
Did you get that?
Okay. That was a good hit. I would have never connected that, but you saying that kind of hits. Okay.
Well, because of there's two of them and they're in like rock and metal and like whatever. Like, I don't know, it just gave me Tenacious D. I pictured these guys like harmonizing with some like heavy guitar. Like, I don't know. But Abe is this musician and he's getting called back home because his grandma is sick, right? Or she had a stroke, I think.
She's getting sicker, I believe it was. She's just like getting older and getting sick.
Yeah. And she's like on her deathbed. And so they're like, Abe, you got to come home. You have to say, you have to come say your goodbyes to Grandma Bobby. And they are this like Jewish family. And Grandma always says how bad of a Jewish person Abe is, because he's not especially religious and he doesn't have that typical experience. He's a musician. He's a little bit like out of the box as far as like his family goes. And then, so he's on his way home. And as we go, we're learning about him and his bandmate, as well as this woman that he's in love with, Jen. Was her name Jen?
Jenna?
Jenna. And we're learning about that. And he gets in his head too. Like a lot of this is him like talking to himself or like talking to other people in his own head, which I actually kind of liked that, but we can talk more about that in a minute. But I did also, so he gets to this rest stop and he gets trapped in this, and all we know is that he's stuck in here somehow, and that there's a bunch of bugs and reptiles and whatever else.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about our quiz. Okay. Before we get into spoilers, I have a little fun quiz to do, so let's do that real quick. Let me pull it up. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 questions, and y'all can answer in the chat as well if you want. And it's going to be a multiple choice quiz. So number 1, the jewel wasp, also known as Ampulex compressa, has an unusual mating ritual, which involves either A, building a yurt with household toilet paper, B, turning a cockroach into a zombie and riding it like a pony, C, pretending to be a firefly, or D, playing music with their wings. What is your guess?
B.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. It's B.
Yes.
People guess and give it 3 stars. It is B. So what they do, so this wasp, it takes its like stinger and it implants it into the head of the roach, and it turns it into like a zombie, and then it like uses its hands to like ride it and direct it over to its like home, and then it implants its eggs inside of it, and then the little babies that hatch inside of it like eat on the flesh as they come out.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, it's fun stuff, you guys. This is fun stuff. Where are you going to learn this information? Here, that's where. I'm going to go with B. All right, 4 more really quick. Sorry, I like made this whole thing and then I was like, oh, I forgot to do it. All right, number 2. Cockroaches, since we're on the subject, have a fun little party trick where they can A, perform the time warp in perfect unison, B, travel up to 5 miles a day, C, multiply when you step on them, or D, live for a week without a head. Think about it. What do y'all think? What do you think cockroaches can do? Do you want me to repeat it?
I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel like 5 miles isn't a lot for that type of bug, because I feel like they're always moving, don't they?
Also, I'm not expecting you to actually know these things. Like, this is just for fun.
I'm gonna go with D though. I feel like I've heard that. I feel like I've heard that they do that.
You're right. It's D.
Okay.
You're right.
Ugh.
Shoot, I thought I was going to be able to pull one over on you, Chayce.
I love bugs.
The grossest thing about that is that, hold on, I have info. Let me see. So the cockroaches, they have an open circulatory system. So like their blood is just like in their body. It's not like in veins or anything. It's just like blood wherever it goes. So with a little bit of pressure, their blood is distributed freely. And their head can pop off and they can live for up to 9 days without a head.
Okay.
Very gross. Okay, number 3. What is the deadliest creature on the planet? Is it A, snakes, B, humans, C, mosquitoes, or D, the Sydney funnel web spider? What do you think?
Okay. When you say deadliest, what do you mean, like deadly as in like
I mean, kills the most humans per year.
I feel like humans is too easy, so I'm gonna go with the for some reason the tunnel spider sounds very familiar.
All right. Well, your answer is mosquitoes, actually. Humans are the number 2 deadliest creature. But mosquitoes kill more humans than humans kill humans. But it's supposed to be, hold on, I have the info. Let me see.
I guess malaria and all of those.
Yeah, okay. It's malaria. According to the World Health Organization, mosquito bites kill 1 million people each year. Most of these are caused by malaria through West Nile virus and dengue fever are also, though West Nile virus and dengue fever are also potentially deadly mosquito-borne illnesses. And then tapeworm was really high up there too. Tapeworms kill 2,000 people per year. And then humans kill 475,000 people per year.
Jeez.
Yeah, a lot. All right. And then moving on. Number 4. What is the most venomous snake in America? Is it A, the Western diamondback rattlesnake? B, the copperhead snake? C, the Eastern diamondback rattlesnake? Or D, the coral snake? This was in the reading as well.
Oh, then A.
Which one?
The rattlesnake. Wait. There's two.
Western diamondback rattlesnake, and then C is the Eastern diamondback rattlesnake. Which one do you think it is?
Eastern.
You're right. It's Eastern. That was one of the ones in the book. And also the reason that the web spider sounded familiar, that was also another character from the book.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that sounds familiar for some reason. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then lastly, what is the word for fear of snakes? Is it ophidiophobia, tyrannophobia, scoptophobia, or samhainophobia? What do you think? You want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Ophidiophobia.
Okay.
Tyrannophobia, scoptophobia, and samhainophobia.
D.
No.
Is it A?
All right, Scotty thinks it's A. I don't know if these ones are for this question or not. I think that one is because I just saw it come in, but A. Okay, let's look. Okay, so the answer is actually A.
Okay.
You can write in the comments. It is ophidiophobia. And then tyrannophobia is fear of dictatorship.
Real.
Scoptophobia is the fear of being stared at, which I hate that. I have a fear of being perceived as well.
Real.
And then samhainophobia is is actually the fear of Halloween. Sam Hain phobia, fear of Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is my little quiz. All right, let's move into spoilers. Let's talk about everything.
Let's get into it.
If y'all haven't read it then and you don't want to be spoiled, this is your time to leave. And you can come back and watch the replay after you've read it if you like, or if you just don't care, you can stay as well. We are gonna get into this. So I do want to talk about the characters first. Because I did already kind of start talking about Abe. What did you think of Abe?
I liked that he wasn't one-dimensional. I feel like a lot of slashers make the characters a little too one-dimensional. It's like they fall into their tropes. You get like the jock and the cheerleader, and it's just kind of that's their personality. But he was the band dude, but there was you had his lifestyle and the things he grew up with, and you knew his he had a very in touch belief with him of his identity. So I liked his character. I like the ebb and flow of him not knowing if he can get through something, and the other half of him I can do this, but then still the back and forth, because I feel like that's pretty realistic. I liked his writing for that on Abe. I just wish it was a little bit more depth on others though.
Yeah, Abe felt really human to me. I really loved his relationship with Grandma Bobby. So Bobby was just always putting him down. For anyone who doesn't know, just always putting him down and making him feel bad. And so he did not want to go see her on her deathbed. But the fact that he gets into this situation, right? And he pulls over this rest stop and he gets stuck and he comes close to losing his life. And so he is losing his mind through all of this, through all of the pain. And he's having these conversations in his head with Bobby. And Bobby cracked me up. She was so funny. I just imagined her. She felt really real to me. Just like Abe did. And then really the only other characters are the killer, who I don't understand anything about the killer. Did we learn anything about him at all?
No, not much besides he's just kind of doing it to do it. But I think that is part of the slasher. That's the thing. It's that's the true nature of a slasher. That mask, girl.
It hurts my eyeballs. Can you still hear me?
Well.
Okay. I spent way too much time making this.
I love it though. That would be terrifying to see from a distance. Just a man with a massive knife, and that's his mask.
I think I should have used bigger eyeballs, because I think it gets lost. You can't even tell that it's eyeballs, But when you look up close, you can tell.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, I loved Grandma Bobby, and I liked him. But there was this whole I kind of liked that there was the dynamic between Abe and his bandmate Ty, because obviously they both had a thing for Jenna or whatever. And this thing that Abe is dealing with throughout the book is that he has been a coward for his life. He never made the move on her. He's loved her for so long, but he's just going to sit and watch from afar. And I think a lot of what he's learning in this story is that he needs to, if he wants something to happen, he has to actually do something, or nothing's going to happen. And he's dealing with a lot of his feelings of how he's felt in his family growing up, kind of feeling like the black sheep, or he didn't quite fit in as well. So I think all of that comes to the surface when he's in this battle against this guy.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. So the killer guy, he has this mask. It wasn't quite like the one I made. It was, I pictured anyway, a ski mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a ski mask. But I thought this would be easier when I was making mine. But he locks Abe in this bathroom in this gas station. No one's in there, and there's a vent in the ceiling with an opening, and he starts putting creatures down the vent.
Yeah.
How did you feel about what were your thoughts on that part?
I was reading it and it got to the spider part. I like bugs. I'm a big fan of bugs. I think they're weird and they're interesting and I think they're cool. Like I wanted to own a centipede for a very long time.
No.
They're cool. The centipedes. Anyway,
oh no.
The snake would have got me. The snake and the spider, both of the spider, it would have been over. Like, and I would have simply been like, yeah, you can call it. Like, I'm not trying to get that. The snake was crazy.
Yeah, so the snake was kind of a main character too, because the snake is what ends up killing the guy, right?
Yep.
So
Swung right at him.
Facts in there along the way, like bug facts, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, it made it like more. I feel like I would be like that in a situation where I'd be like trying to remember all the random facts about the situation. I'd be like, well, spiders don't like this if I have to do this because.
Oh, I'd be in trouble. Yeah.
Call it.
I like how he named this, but what was the spider's name?
What was the spider's name?
Oh, that's the thing. I thought the bathroom was going to be detached for some reason, but it was like I wasn't expecting it to be inside the gas station too.
Oh, okay. No, I was imagining him just like. I was imagining like 7-Eleven, to be completely honest. I was imagining like a 7-Eleven where the bathroom's like right on the side.
Boris. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, he was funny. And then let's see. I'm surprised that's not my dog's barking this time.
I'm like, what's going on out there?
So there were some points like towards the end. Let's see. Let's on the outside. Oh yeah, I didn't quite understand the way that the bathroom door locked. Did you get that? Because it locks outside.
Right, but then it locks from the inside too?
It must, because he, I guess, was able to lock it. It must have a deadbolt and also lock from the outside. Because
yeah.
He wasn't afraid of him getting in when he went in there. Like the second time when he went back in.
Yeah. So I'm like, that was, yeah, the door lock kind of threw me off because then it was like, okay, can he get in? Can he get out? And then I was like, why wouldn't the guy lock him in? That's another thing. I'm like, I would just have locked him in there. You know, like if I'm the killer and.
Well, he was locked in there and then he let him out, right? First.
Yeah, but yeah, he let him out at first, but then later on, whenever it's like the final battle and they're like at each other's necks and he's like, also the little reveal was good. I will say that because at first I was slightly buying it being like, oh, the cashier's the only one left. Like he's trying to make it out and him being stabbed made it more realistic. I was like, oh, okay, he's an innocent person. And then it got real like, something feels off about this guy.
Yeah, so he first pretended to be another victim when he first let Abe out of the bathroom. And then they had all the bodies, like we were saying before, all the bodies of the other people that had come in earlier, I guess. He just like killed them and then used their bodies to stage the place to look bloody.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job of explaining those scenes, though, because I really do have a pretty good mental image of just like bodies and blood all over the M&Ms and the Skittles, and like he did a pretty good job of setting the mental picture for that scene, especially with the eyeballs and the mask.
Yeah,
He's just toying with him like the whole time. He's messing with him.
Which I thought was fun. I think that was an important aspect because it's like sometimes books get a little too serious. And it's like, we can be camp. That's the word I'm going to use. Camp is important. And I think campness was part of that, where it was very campy. It was like.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
The bugs falling from the ceiling and him it just felt very fun.
And that's a big part of slashers, I feel like, in general, too. Like, slashers lean into that campiness. Like Scream, obviously, or, stuff like that. Sorry, I put that aside and I didn't read it.
Inside
Inside
was
was
a
a
book.
normal lock and outside was a bolt. Oh, okay. Like the one on the, like a door handle.
I guess really like a 7-Eleven, because I think 7-Eleven has a similar one. That's what I imagined. I imagine like 7-Eleven meets like Carrie, the final scene, where like the blood's just everywhere.
100%. So one thing I marked this page 92 in the physical book, about his banter with Bobby that I really liked. Even though it's like, obviously it's just him talking to himself, but he thinks he's talking to Bobby in his head. And she's asking him about if he's ever considered Buddhism. And then she's talking about, a way of looking at a broken glass. She says, I love this glass, like a glass in your hand. I love this glass. It's so beautiful. It carries the water to my lips and it keeps me alive. It catches the light. But if one day I accidentally dropped it and it shatters, my heart breaks with it. I accidentally drop and it shatters. My heart breaks with it. I'm so sad. So I must remember being broken is this glass's truest nature. It will be broken far longer than it was whole. It is meant to be broken. It is already broken. How can I be sad then for this brief illusion of wholeness? I really liked that. I feel like if that's like is that like a Buddhist kind of idea of like something that like...
I think it is a teaching. I could be incorrect, but I think that it's to equate to like never getting too overly attachment. It's a part of that, of like you're not holding too much on to things. It's kind of like ebb and flow from what I've understand.
Well, I kind of see it as actually like the multiverse. Like it's already, if it's in superposition, it's both happened and not happened. So there's no point before we observe it in like getting upset about it being potentially one way or another, if it's broken or whole, because the state that it's in currently as a whole piece is just...
Is it alive?
Maybe that's not quite right, because like I think it's like in the span of time.
Maybe like, kind of like a Schrodinger's cat situation.
The Schrodinger's cat? What?
Yeah, like where it's like the box, if you keep the box open or keep the box closed, you don't know if the cat's dead or alive.
Yeah, before you observe it to be dead or alive, it is both dead and alive.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's a bad, comparison.
Yeah, I'm like, I said that, I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't feel like that fits either.
Well, but that is, you're right, that is Schrodinger. But I think it's like maybe across time, like the amount of time that glass is in one piece. Since time is so long and time is relative, it's going to spend more time being broken. And so we should just appreciate it for when it is whole. Appreciate it, and then don't be sad when it doesn't become whole, because that's its natural state. I don't know. It was interesting to think about, at least.
I like that.
Yeah. There were some other moments. I wish I could remember that. There was another quote that I wanted to mention, but I can't remember where it was at. Oh, this might have been it. Yes. Okay. So the guy, the baddie, thinks of himself as God, right? And so Abe starts like kind of playing with that idea with him and seeing if he'll fall for it. If he's like, oh, I want to see God do his work. I want to see your creation, because he has that vein and everything that says create, hate.
Yeah.
And I loved how he wrote this paragraph. It's kind of long, but it's on page, it starts on 111. The God versus Abraham, the Red Sea. It says, the mask presses against Abe's nose. And maybe it's because it's so hard to breathe, or maybe it's because of the lingering effects of the snake venom, but Abe looks into his own terrified, bewildered eyes, sees the swirling prism of the reflective surface, and begins to understand. Yes, this may very well be so. His attacker may indeed be telling the truth. This man, this stranger, this crushing weight on his chest, dense as a dying star. This is God, the one countless generations of terrified humans once worshipped, the one countless more generations try to pretend they aren't worshiping now. The God of lightning in the desert, the God of twisted shadows on cave walls, the God of wrath, of persecution, of corruption, the God that demands proper nouns and capitalization, the God whose first commandment isn't kindness or empathy, but thou shalt have no other God before me. The God of sick jokes, the God of babies born without heads, the God of turtles born having to race to the sea with their first lungful of air, the God of ancient land disputes that turn into genocidal rugby matches, the God of the great cosmic punchline that is mortality foreknown, of suns destined to implode, of nerve endings that refuse to stop reporting pain, of fathers who die of bowel cancer, of hearts that won't stop breaking, of promising futures and the unbearably slow deflation from pinprick disappointments. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's good writing.
That was probably the best paragraph to me. I thought it was very, like, just vivid and very, I don't know, it just felt like a real, like, you know what, I'm pissed. I'm pissed, and this is...
Yeah, that was
like,
fucking poetry, you know? Like, the God of fathers who die from bowel cancer. Oh my gosh. Like, and then the idea that we're all mortal and we're going to die anyway. The plight of the baby turtles that have to run to the sea with their first breathful of air. That one really got me. I was like, oh, yeah. Turtles.
I like that. That was a really good paragraph. I remember reading that and I was like, okay. I felt like that was a big highlight out of all, like, his writing.
Yeah, that was a moment, like, towards the very end where I was like, okay, like, I'm seeing the little moments in this story that are shining, and I really love that. I just wished, I don't know if I wish it was longer, or maybe, because if it was longer, maybe we'd have, like, more information on why. I think that's just how my brain works. So, like, I want to know why this guy is messed up. Like, what happened to him
I would like a prequel. Like, I think that'd be cool, like a prequel, but I would like to see if maybe it does tie back to the van, of, like, the van creates that energy of that, like, slasher energy. Because, like, towards the end where it was talking.
Go on.
I was just saying, like, towards the end where it was like, where even Abe was like, when he drives around in the van, where it's like, he has those ideas popping up in his head. And I'm like, a prequel would be good to see if it's like the van before the guy got it, the store clerk got it, or whoever got it, the killer. If he was like an Abe before that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I feel like that'd be fun.
I bet that is the case. So it's really like a cursed van type of situation, because Chayce had just reminded me before we went live that at the very end, he's talking about how he got the van back from the police, from, like, the repo or whatever. And he was driving it around thinking about running over pedestrians. And so that does leave you thinking, like, is it the van? And the license plate was pre-8 with a number 8, hate. And what if this guy was just some random guy too, and he got in? Okay, so that at least, like, leaves me a little bit more satisfied, I think, just, like, knowing that.
Yeah.
That we know, even though cursed van is not a very good explanation.
Right. I'm like, but it's a shot.
At least then, if it's like something supernatural, I know that I can, that I know the barriers of our world have expanded, and I can expand my belief system a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So we're already talking about plot, but yeah, I do like that ending. I tend to like a dark ending. I like everything feels resolved and then just a little zinger like on the end to be like, but is it? Or like, but what is really happening? And it kind of did do that.
Yeah.
I wish this had an audiobook though, because it's so hard for me to get through. Like this took me way too long. Longer than I want to admit to read this.
Okay.
But like I said, I think it was fun. Nat Cassidy is a really, like, his writing is always, everything that I've read of it is always very sensitive, and it's always like really showing just the flaws in people and making that endearing to the reader somehow, which is, I think, probably hard to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like he did a lot of research too, though, beforehand, which I do enjoy. Of like just to throw out those little insect and animal facts. I felt like there was research to kind of for the world building, so it can seem more accurate.
I checked that too. Like I looked up. They're obviously all real animals. Oh, the first line of this story is, all is either darkness or chaos. I liked that. I thought it was a good first line.
Yeah, good start.
Okay, yeah, I wrote Cassidy's ability to craft relatable, flawed, yet fully fleshed out characters is up there with some of the best.
Yeah, I liked. There's a lot about like the parts of the story I really did like with his story, like storytelling and the way he wrote things. I like the explanation of how the gas station looked. Like it was just like glistening red and like all this stuff. It just like I couldn't conjure up the like, or when he was beginning the fight towards the end and he was like throwing the like the Doritos bags and like the chips and the snacks at the guy. Yeah. Like I was visualizing it and like him laughing while doing it because he was saying like he was maniacally laughing while trying to do it. Just it felt very like, okay, I can see this like playing out and like I'm watching a movie at like AMC or something, and this is how it's
I think this would make a good film. Like, yeah, I think it would be more fun to watch than it is to read.
Yeah, a quick little 54-minute movie, nothing crazy, and just like straight to the punch.
Yeah. What would do you have anything that you would recommend that somebody may like or may not like based on this?
Ooh.
I can go first. The one that I thought of was, and it's not a super good correlation, but the one that kept coming to mind for me was Whale Fall by Daniel Kraus. And if anyone's unaware of that one, it's a story. I don't have a physical copy of it, but it's a story about it's a grief horror about this man who lost his dad, and he's going down. His dad had taken his own life in the ocean, and they never recovered his body. So he's going down to recover his father's body, and in that moment, he gets swallowed by a whale. And we spend the whole book with him inside the whale's stomach trying to survive. But the reason I thought of those two together is because he also has a lot of like, as he's struggling for his life, as he's dying, essentially, he's having conversations with his dad in his head and like with the whale and with whoever else. And so the way that he kind of broke down the way that the main character was communicating and was losing his mind felt similar to me. So if y'all are interested in that, Whale Fall by Daniel Kraus, it was really good. It's really interesting and a whole new take on a book set in isolation because he's literally in like the stomach of a whale.
I haven't read that one, but can I throw a movie recommendation that I'm thinking of? It's called the movie. It's Hush, I believe it was called. It came out in like 2000. I want to say like 15 or something. It was on Netflix. I remember from like a while back.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's about this like 2016 Mike Flanagan, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Flanagan?
McFlanagan. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it's about this woman in the woods who like is deaf, and it's a slasher, and like you have no idea why this man wants to kill her, but it's just like, and he's wearing a mask. It's very similar, like
Yes.
isolated mask.
That, and it's got Kate Siegel, and I love her.
Oh, you would. It's a great movie. It's
Watch that.
really good. I recommend that. And then like a little slash of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just the eyeballs, the everything. That part, just that part alone. I just want to throw that movie out there too. Love that one.
Good. So good. Awesome. That was great. All right, so let's do our final submission results. Lady over here. Hold on. I gotta check Instagram to see if we got any last minute voters. Make sure we get everybody included. Every vote counts.
Real. Oh Lord, yeah.
People. Every vote counts.
Just vote. Just vote.
All right, let's see here. Time to rate. Okay, no, they are still the same. So I already have the average there. So our crowd audience average is 3.69.
3.69.
And then what did you give this, Chayce?
I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay, so I don't really have to do the math there. I think we made it, but let's do it just for the sake. Okay, 3.69. I gave it 3.75. Chayce gave it 3.5. And then we'll divide that by 3. We have an average of 3.64 stars, which means that Restov has been inducted into the Midnight Society book club. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad, because I would have been really sad if a Nat Cassidy book didn't make it in. I would have been like tragically like inside, like, why did I give them the power?
Real.
But I'm so glad it made it. We can now count it among our elite books. It's very important. It's a big deal.
Love.
All right, so next, let's just talk really quick about next month. I don't know if y'all have seen my post that I made, but we are now making, or I am now making, the Midnight Society Book Club bi-monthly. So it's going to be every other month now, just so it's a little bit less stressful for me and gives me a little bit more time. It gives us more time to acquire the books as well as read the books in between. So I think that's going to work the best for everybody. So our next meeting is not going to be till March. So we have January, March, May, July, September, November. Yeah. But anyway, our next book, hold on, I have it here somewhere. That stuff. In March, we're going to be reading the new Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. And I am really excited to get to this one. I don't know how I'm going to wait that long to read it, to be honest. And I think Kayla is actually, from Books and Lala, is doing this for one of her book club books as well. So if you're already reading it for that, you might as well join us over here as well. And this is about, it's set in the 70s, and it's following these girls who are in this home for wayward children, wayward girls, because they're pregnant, and they've been sent there to have the baby and then just go back to their life and pretend like nothing ever happened. And they all have different situations, obviously, and they get a hold. Oh no, they talk to a librarian supposedly, and the librarian gives them a book about witchcraft, and they read it and they come into power for the first time ever, probably in their lives. But that power also comes with a cost, we find. It's giving The Craft, but like a little bit different and like set in the 70s. So I'm really excited to read that one as well. It's on the longer side too. But for anyone who's interested, that one I believe just came out. And so it's a pretty new release. Should be available. It's definitely on audio. Whereas, this one was not. That one will be on audio. So a little bit easier to find probably. And I think that about sums it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about the book specifically, Chayce, that you feel like we skipped over?
No, I feel like we hit pretty much everything in the book.
Oh, let me look at the comments here. Oh, I've been neglecting my comments. I'm sorry. This was my first Nat Cassidy. I was surprised how much I connected with his words in certain parts. Okay, read Mary.
I gotta read that one too.
It's so good. I loved it so much. My mask. This one, Mary, An Awakening of Terror. It's so good. The audiobook's fantastic for that one as well too. The van, interesting theory. Yeah, I think that's got to be the case, right? We just reread it. It says it.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe it's Van.
Yeah. I took it as he was so damaged by the experience that he was becoming the same, but I love the van theory. Interesting. Thought about the cursed van theory as well, especially because Nat Cassidy mentions that he has seen that van in real life. Oh, I think he did. I think he had either it was an afterword or forward. Was that on your version too? The forward or afterword by the author?
I think the forward. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Let me pull it up.
He did say something about that. I don't know where. Maybe it was maybe I made that up. I don't know.
Did you? Wait, I don't think so. Wait, let me check.
Have you read I Was a Teenage Slasher? I've not. It does the deep dive behind the being slasher. Oh no, but that is on my TBR by Stephen Graham Jones. I do really love Stephen Graham Jones, so maybe I should get to that one. Already read that one and loved it. Just because of the setting, it reminded me of No Exit. That's a good comp title too, I think. I thought about No Exit as well. There's that one. I have it here. So that one is by Taylor Adams. I literally have an eyeball on my finger right now. Taylor Adams, and this one is a girl is trying to get home and stops at a rest stop. And to find that the person parked in the car next to her has a chained up child, and she's trying to figure out which of the people in the restaurant or in the rest stop own that car, and obviously it gets dangerous. That's a really good one, very wintry. Let's see. It was in the back of the book, maybe author's note. Okay, thank you. I'm not crazy then.
Also, you mentioned No Exit. That immediately, it's not similar for a comp title, but I also want to recommend I've been thinking about ending things.
Oh, I'm thinking of it. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I love that book. Oh my gosh.
That I was like thinking, I was like, they're both kind of existential and kind of just this like trappedness in both stories of like stuck in the past but trying to move forward.
Okay, yeah, like theme wise, that makes sense for sure. Yeah. I'm thinking of ending things. The audio is also really incredible. They do a thing with the reveal that is very specific to that book. And I can't say because it's like, it'll spoil it, but like, I'll tell you after, Chayce. But anyway, I recommend the audio for that if y'all are interested in reading that. I love Ian Reid. He's so good. He has another one called We Spread that I love too. All right. Well, I think that about sums it up, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you were here for the live, thank you for rewatching it. If you're watching this on the rewatch. And again, let's see, don't forget that next month, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. And that's going to be it. I need something to cheers with. Don't forget that life is short. So read Riley. Cheers. And goodbye, my friends. See y'all later.
Peace.